Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this file. It's a one-line font, people that do routering. And he had two questions. One, he wanted to put a cut line around it and a line around it. I could have got it right on top, but most people would want a cut line. The other one, he wants to make the font thicker. Well, this is a font. Well, it's a point. So you could make it thicker, but there's a couple things wrong with this drawing, and I'm going to show you right here. If you ever can't select anything with your shape tool, it's because it's grouped together. So we need to go to group and ungroup. And if we look at this right there, there's 3 nodes. Now, it's going to shorten it up, but I'm going to, well, okay, let's go back. Let's set an indexing line. Let's say he wanted it to there. And I'm going to go to snap to guidelines, and that'll help me snap to that node or to that. Well, it actually won't because it's a one-line font. The node is actually that's going to snap to is way in here. But what we're going to do is going to delete these 2 nodes, and then I would hold down the control button and stretch that to there. Now notice also the N, and that might be this definitely isn't the drawing or the way it wants it. And the same thing with this E isn't all the way. So you might want to put that one back or extend this one out, but I would hold down the control button and that makes it equal. Now the same thing with the N. The N is short of the other part of the letter. Now I'm going over the boundary here because he didn't ask me this, but just things I notice. And if you hold down the control button, it'll get you perpendicular. Anyway, because you can move it like this, but if you hold down the control button, it'll hold down the restraint. I moved it a little bit. Well, even the control button's not really helping this. But anyway, so that's good. I think I would get rid of some nodes that aren't needed. Whoop. That's evidently a needed node. But anyway, first thing to get the thing thicker. And I don't know if he doesn't want the box thicker, let's set our nudge distance on 37. Let's set it on 40. So if you don't want the box thicker, take the box out of the way and select all this. And let's range it, because it's a point, it's a line, and 36 is the biggest, but you can type in any number you want. So we're going to type in 48. And that made it thicker. And now if you want the box thicker, just move it back. It's still selected and go 48. So that's that. Now, this is a little bit, I'm going to turn off the indexing line, is a little bit different way to put a boundary, because it's a line and it's got some open spaces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to make a duplicate of this. I'm actually going to move it. Well, let me change my nudge. I want it off the page so I don't have that line. So hit the plus key. So one thing we can do with this particular item, and we know that point, so this is a copy. I'm going to take that line and just stretch it all the way to that line. And then I'm going to take a line that I'm going to draw with a 2-point line. I'm going to go from that node to that node, and then I'm going to make it 48 points. And we'll have to fix this right here. And I'm just going to go right to there. And this is where your nudge, I'm going to change the nudge from 42 inches to 0.01. I'm going to grab the shape tool, and I'm just going to nudge this thing just minutely to make it even. Now what we want to do is take a rectangle and take the Smart Fill tool and fill it in. Now you see that it filled it in Well, you know what we're going to do before we even do that? This will help us. Let's take all this line and go to object and convert it to an outline to an object. Now, when I use the Smart Fill tool, it'll just go to the edge. See how it's leaving everything? Now I'm going to nudge. I've moved my nudge factor. Let's go back to 42. So if you keep everything at 42, you can nudge it right back. So then let's take this. And take your, I'm going to use a different color on the Smart Fill tool just so you can see it. I'm actually going to nudge it up, and then I'm going to left click, right click, and then I can bring it all the way over to the original. And that cut line is right at the edge of all the letters. Well, see, that N isn't, I must have not have fixed it, or see, it just looks short. So you'd want to, this would be a good way to fix it, because then you could take that line and put it right there. Now that one's short too, but you would do that with the indexing line. I must have backed up or something. But anyway, then if he doesn't want it right on there, let's nudge this over and go to effects and contour. Let's contour the outside, just let's say 1/2 inch, and look at that. And then go up to object, break the contour apart. And if you grab the inside and move it out of the way, this is your outside, nudge it over, and I would right click, and I'd make, I don't know if you're going to cut this out, but you always make sure it's a hairline. But see, that way it's right off the letters perfectly. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit. Thank you for watching.